frigid wind and merciless snow, to welcome Northulthurin's birth amongst his brothers in a demon's clutch, who doubts their royal worth. 5 years of imprisonment in this tortured state, all to feed the hunger of this monster's boundless hate. But the time has come for the fiend's design, and which one shall shine, released in a treacherous forest, known only by the villainous Skeindoki, the wretched being who dares to detain a falling king's prodigy.
The word is magic. I will sense if you depart.
Skeindoki gloats and continues on.
Should any of you leave, I will eat your heart.
He armed them with nothing but a fleeting chance. He faded to the shadows, the brothers assuming a warrior's stance. The situation was dire, but they knew what they must do. A duel of death, allotting one victor. But who? The mosh commenced in a flurry of fists, but Northulthurin hated battle and preferred his wits. Fearful he and his brothers would that night perish, he fabricated a plan to defy Skeindoki's furnace. He slugged them all in the face and took off with haste, only seconds away from being angrily embraced. But his plan was almost complete as he halted in the clearing, hoping his brothers would hearken despite their hateful sneering. "You think only one of us will live, but all of us can," Northulthurin shouted in his regal voice. "Forsake your anger, and I will tell you my plan." The brothers waited eagerly to hear the new choice. "If we leave this forest, he will sense the event. But what if we stay until we can properly descend? Let one of us appear triumphant to gain the fiend's favor. Unbeknownst to the wretch, this champion's fealty will soon waver. He will enter his home and pilfer his knives, then arm those in the forest, so we may fight for our lives." The brothers all hail in support of his speech, but beyond the joy, a question pondered each. Who would be the one to take on the task, to hold lives in his hand and wear the shifting mask? Then a thought floated in to the conniving brain, the crafty brother, only known as the faultless Darthvane. He was desirous to live, but on his own. His younger brothers did not know, but they were heirs to a throne. "Let Northulthurin succeed us, for he has forged a stratagem." He received their agreement, but of course he expected that of them. He knows playing with the fiend is perilous, and with danger fraught. To send Northulthurin to his death, part of his vile plot. "I shall do the deed, but you will need a guise, an intelligent trick to veil evil eyes. I have observed our captor and seen his chest heave. Yet he doesn't know our race, has no need to breathe. You lie still as if dead within the azure lake, too deep to retrieve. Once he thinks you have drowned, his trust will unsheath and put the plan into motion. They lay dormant in the pond to put the fiend's view in distortion. Norsalthrin set out, departing his confines, but he halted in the clearing, forewarned by crimson shines. Skeindoki appeared, and beneath him foliage died. Norsalthrin left in the open with nowhere to hide. Breaking the rules, then I shall eat thy heart. Skeindoki gloated with a ravenous smile. Nay, you have proposed a deal, and I have upheld my part, Norsalthrin retorted, finesse concealing his guile. I have killed my brethren by the river, and they lay in its depths. I have proven to be my father's prime son, and they but inept. The fiend was overjoyed, and laid hand to his shoulder. Norsalthrin shivered as the air blew colder. In a crimson rift they entered Skeindoki's lair, to reveal his plan, to make Norsalthrin his heir. To award your triumph, I give you this pendant, to prove you future lord of the kingdom of Clendant. Norsalthrin received the gift with convincing respect, all the while conducting a plan Skrein could not expect. Learning Skrein's values, excelling with grace, clandestinely taking his blades, leaving no trace. Skrein, I depart, but accompany me as I trust you withal. I have need to kill, lest my level of bloodlust should fall. Skeindoki consented, and set out with pleasure, hoping to indulge in carnage no man could measure. As they neared the lake, Skrein spotted eyes residing in shadows. Was his apprentice leading him to glory, or the fate of the gallows? Norsalthrin, excuse me, but there is a matter I must attend. But I will return within moments, this I promise you, my friend. Norsalthrin nodded and proceeded to the lake. Skrein faded to the foliage, pondering whose acquaintance he would make. Skrein beckoned the man out, one who thought he had ended. Darthvane's smile was sincere, and Skrein's confusion ascended. Norsalthrin has united my brethren and conducted a scheme that will end your life through deceit, or so it would seem. Skrein listened intently as he advanced toward the traitor, each step with hellish pace, leaving behind singing craters. Thou art clever, but thou art late, for I have crowned my prince. But thy contrivance I will usher. Darthvane knelt before his potentate, swearing eternal fealty. He hailed from a line of sterling firmament, but of iniquity he was guilty. Northothrin gazed upon the lake to find a brother unapparent. Had he been apprehended, or to evil adherent? He dived into the Cimmerian lake, disrupting his brother's aquatic slumber with an urgent shake. They followed Northothrin's lead, arising to the luscious shoal, to behold the sight that grieved them to the core. A trusted ally with a hated personage wielding an obsidian blade. But they stood to meet the threat, branding tools of that murderous trade. The contention enthralled without word to provoke. Ruby fluids escaped the confines of flesh, and the land began to soak. The battle raged on, with the scythe on the loom, both sides losing dearly to an unwelcome doom, waltzing with Lady Death, one by one lured into her eternal tomb. But not the forsaken prince, her only forbidding groom. Northothrin departed the horrific scene, without family to add to its wonder. What could life ever mean?